Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Vobes show is about to begin. Enjoy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Richard Vobes, on the 12th of February, 2021. I hate it when people say, you know, when people come up and they... Remember the old days when we used to be able to go into the restaurants and cafes and things, and the waitress or the waiter would bring you the meal and put it down and say, there you are, sir, enjoy. And I always think, no, you mean enjoy it. Enjoy it. Can't just enjoy. Enjoy what? Enjoy life, enjoy the ambience, enjoy the accident going over the other side of the road with the ambulance. What? Enjoy what? What? Tell me. Enjoy. Enjoy. I am enjoying. I am already enjoying. I'm in the state of enjoyment. What do you mean? You mean enjoy your meal or enjoy it? Enjoy the baked potatoes, the overcooked, soggy vegetables, the weird-looking, strange thing you've done with the beef, the blood that's oozing out. That's what you mean, isn't it? That's what you blooming well mean. Well, say it, for goodness sake. Anyway, welcome to another exciting show. Now, on the show tonight, waiting with bated breath. Bated breath? I nearly said basted breasts, but I didn't mean that. We have the lovely Julia out there. Oh, yes, and you can be a guest. Hang on a minute, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. the lovely Julia. Hello, lovely Julia. How are you?
Not basted.
Not basted. Oh, yes, I forgot.
I'll have you know.
On to hear you. It's been a while. How are you doing?
Yeah, all right. Just trying to shuffle into my little square. Look, you've boxed me in. Look.
Oh, sorry. Are you too boxed?
I'm all right.
Oh, you're all right. Oh, that's marvellous. And can everybody hear you all right?
I know. Can you hear me at the back there?
Yes, I'm sure they can. I'm sure. Anyway, it's lovely to be back here on the Friday, end of another week. Oh, blimey, what a week it's been. Do you know, I've been out up to London every day, commuting, as you know, because I'm one of those commuter, worked in the city, and I've sold, buy, sell, buy, eat, fire, nose, coom. Nose coom, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I've been out doing videos, of course, all week. Nothing really changes in my life. How was your week, lovely Julia?
Same ruddy Groundhog Day, day in, day out.
It's going on too much now. I've kind of, last year was all right. This year, sort of, the idea of being stuck inside during the winter when you can put the fire on is all very well. But it's nice to get out and do other things, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
and I know you've been very good, though. You have been getting your kids out. I mean, we've had that grim weather, and you've still managed to push them out and lock the door and keep them outside.
Yeah, not every day, but I have been getting them out as many days as possible because, well, it's not good for them to just be stuck indoors all the time. I don't know how people with smaller properties cope, especially without gardens and things. My garden now is not so soggy, so that's good. We've been out in that a couple of times now.
I went out for a walk, and they'll see the video tomorrow, but I went out and it was lovely. This is the first time I didn't take my new walking boots because I could put my older walking boots on because there was nowhere soggy on the ground. Everything was frozen. And so I can save my new, I want to make my new boots last. So I'm just saving them for the worst muddy and sort of stuff. And the older boots, I can still carry on using them. I don't want to throw them away. Anyway, my point was, it was nice to actually get out. And there was a sense that it was warming up because the sun was shining where I was. But there was a cold wind. So it was really no warmer by the end of it.
Today looked really bright and lovely, and then you step outside and it's like, better get back in and get some more layers on.
Exactly, and by 3 o'clock, as the sun although the sun never gets really very high anyway, but as the sun is then descending quite rapidly at 3, the temperature seems to be dropping with it. Anyway, we have got the fire on, and we're slowly thawing out. Julia, the lovely Julia, who is out there in the Vobosphere? Are there some lovely people waiting to take part in today's show by giving us a call or chatting online or just telling their friends about it?
Yes, there's lots of lovely people out there. We have the lovely Ernie Samat.
Hello,
the
Ernie.
Lovely Tall Podge Rog, the lovely Station Master's Choice.
Oh, marvellous.
The lovely Todd Desborough. Mwah. It's good to see you again,
Yes,
fella.
well done, chappie.
He's a good friend of mine from over the pond. A fellow tree hugger, I might add.
Oh, good for him.
The lovely Mike Stevens.
Hello,
the lovely
Mike.
Mark Donny McLeod.
Yep.
The lovely Audrey Forbes Hamilton.
lovely.
The lovely Colonel Cragratty.
Oh, good.
The lovely Michael Thornley.
Oh, superb.
The lovely Kerry Baldwin.
Mm-hmm.
The lovely Billabong O'Neill.
Yep.
The lovely Glyn Horton.
Oh.
The lovely, looking for a new name, Darren Howell.
Oh, lovely.
Oh.
Oh.
The lovely Paul Cockerill.
Oh, nice.
The lovely Andrew Holson.
Oh, that's good.
The lovely Jen O. I believe you're a friend of mine too, if
Yep.
you are who I think you are.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, Jen O.
Jen. Oh.
Jen O. The lovely Kerry Baldwin. The lovely Ron Langley. The lovely G Ramps. The lovely Judith. Mwah. The lovely Sean Ford. The lovely John B. The lovely Andrew Norris. The lovely Woody Jenny. The lovely Laura Noel C. The lovely Robin Jones. The lovely Bonnie Holland. The lovely Matt Dow. The lovely Dave Evad, otherwise known as Dave Over Yonder. Or
Dave over yonder, Dave over your, Dave over there, Dave over your.
The lovely Kathy B. The lovely John B. The lovely Mark Burgess. The lovely Clive Waterfall. The lovely, looking for a new name, Sensible Paul. The lovely, looking for a new name. Did I say Ron Langley? We'll say you again anyway. The lovely Ron Langley. The lovely Eastbourne couple. The lovely, looking for a new name again, scrolly. And Nootka Seaglass. The lovely,
I was going to say, did you see Alan Sandell and Andrew Norris and Sean's Garden Diary? Listening from the bath, he says, which is very nice.
We have the lovely Kate Evans, the lovely Connor's Review Corner. Oh, have you changed your name, Connor? The lovely Elijah Hartley, my son. Hello, boy. Boy.
Hello, boy.
We have the lovely Edward Moulding. And yeah, I think that's just about everyone that's on my list there. I'm sorry if I've missed you. I haven't meant to. But hello, everybody. Mwah. Good
Marvellous. To see you. How fantastic is that? Thank you very much, Julia, for doing the roll call. And if you weren't mentioned, then do write your name on the back of a £20 note and send it in, and we will make sure that you are called in the future. Did you say that young Connor's Dark Corner was in?
Yes.
You did send me a video. Connor, you sent me a video. I can't possibly play it. I can't play it. It's too much swearing for this show. It's very rude, and he was very angry. I mean, I can understand your sentiment, but unfortunately, I can't play it.
I think I've seen that one. He's put that up on his channel already.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, then you'll know what I mean.
Something along the lines of stop driving.
Yeah, stop driving and various things. Yes, in between. Yeah.
You need a hug. Have a hug.
Have a hug from the lovely Julia. Look at that there. Do it one more time.
Oh, no.
No, look at that. There you go. See, lucky fella. Right. Well, on the show tonight, we do have some videos, of course, for you. We have Mike Stevens has got a Valentine's poem for you. We have Colonel Cragratty is going to be climbing up a mountain in Pembrokeshire. Bernie is taking us down his staircase. Nootka has some wonderful snowy steens. No, not steens. Just one moment. Eric, when you type this up, can you make sure you get the spell checker on?
Oh, sorry, sir. I forgot about the spell checker. I think I'll put it down there somewhere. I just have a look, see if I can find it. Oh, no, it's not over there. It's not there either.
Well, never mind. Just next time, make sure you get it right. Sorry, Nootka. That is snowy scenes in her village. And David Sedgwick has spotted in his garden at night mice. You may remember the hedgehogs that we had a couple of weeks ago or days ago, whenever it was, that David sent in the picture, the night vision camera. We have discovered more animals. And the lovely Julia, you discovered something in your garden the other day, didn't you?
Yes, a lovely fox. Yeah. Well, he or she was very nice, but obviously quite timid. I've never seen one in my garden before, but
Have you
then
not?
again, no. A couple of months ago, we did lose the fence along the back there behind the garage and shed. So
It's when the foxes get in your car and drive it off. That's when you've got to start worrying. You know, I don't mind. I don't get them coming in my garden. I mean, I have left some a garden fork and some buckets and a wheelbarrow in the hope that, you know, they might do a little bit of work down there and plant some bulbs and make the front look a little bit more interesting than it is. But they, you know, they seem to have just snubbed me. They do. They snub me,
yeah.
which is you know, not very good. We also have on tonight's show some art. We have art from Ian Dance, from Andrew Norris. Oh, talking of Andrew Norris, I'm supposed to have transferred them because he sent them to me on WhatsApp, Andrew, and I need to transfer them to the thing so we can see them better, which I shall try and do during the show. And Colonel Cragratty, of course, you remember we were looking at some of his in Wednesday's show. Woody Jenny has sent in some art, and Robin Jones has a fantastic picture. So there is lots to sit back and enjoy in this very communal, friendly environment that we have. Which is rather great. Is there any interesting comments flying through the Vobosphere at the moment, lovely Julia?
Yes. Rasputin of Artington says, I've got moles in my garden.
Moles?
You've got a sad face on that.
I think I've got a mole somewhere on the, you know, one of those black spots. I always thought they were beauty spots, but apparently they're just
I've got
moles.
some moles. I had to have some removed from my back when I was a teenager.
How do you have moles removed? Do they cut them out?
No, they get cauterized off.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough.
It's a horrible smell.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, disgusting. Barry Hughes says, think Connor having bad day today, not been out for ages, then could not go anywhere. When got out for a change, think has hit Tourette's. Think, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
His Tourette's kicked in.
Oh, I'm so sorry, yes. Connor. Yes.
Sorry to hear that.
Yes, you did seem a bit today, and we all have those days, though, don't we? We all get those days, and then we calm down and we have a cup of tea. By the way, just so everybody's well aware, in tonight's taxi cup, the taxi mug is full of Julia's favourite drink, hot Marmite. Lovely. It's a bit
Maybe
weak.
We need to go for a video so I can
go vomit. You don't like Marmite, do you? I love it. I mean, I need to go and get some hot Bovril. Actually, do you like Bovril?
I do like Bovril.
I mean, the difference is so subtle between Marmite, hot Marmite, and Bovril. It's so subtle.
I'd love to know what it is that's in Marmite that I don't like that's not in Bovril.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Do you? Yeah, so you can drink hot Bovril, but I mean, would you put Bovril on your toast?
No.
I put Bovril up. That's nice. Bovril on toast. I mean, it's just, would you?
No.
So you wouldn't eat it like that?
No, I'll sometimes add it to mincemeat and things like that.
Right, or gravy.
Yeah, or gravy.
Bonnie says she loves hot Marmite. So we've got one in my camp there.
It's Marmite. You love it or hate it. You know?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I hate it.
How can you drink that? Says Barry. Yeast extract. I don't know. What does that mean? I'd like to know, can somebody please explain to me what yeast extract? Now, I know the two words. You've got yeast, which you might have in beer, and extract is where you extract something from something. So what are you extracting from the yeast? That's what I don't understand, because you might as well just have yeast. Just, here's a drink of hot yeast, which doesn't sound quite as enticing. So what is it they do what are they extracting from yeast, or where is the yeast extracted from, and why does it make Marmite? See, it's one of those terms that everybody, it's yeast, and it's yeast extract, and that's what it is, mate. And you just go, well, I don't know, what does that mean? What does that actually mean? The Aussies have Vegemite, mad on it they are, says Christine Tompkins. Thank you, Christine.
I've never tried that one, but I'm told it's absolutely horrible.
Yes, I've tried it, and it doesn't seem as good as Marmite or Bovril.
Learn something new every day. Audrey Forbes Hamilton says, I rescued a yellowhammer today.
Oh.
And it was as bright and yellow as a canary, apparently.
Good gracious. Where was it? Would like to know how you rescued it. Did you have to put on some red underpants over your trousers and go flying, with a cape and go bum, ba 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 bum, bum, ba bum, bum, ba 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 bum, bum, ba bum? Is it a bird? Is it a oh, it's a yellowhammer, look. And what's that strange thing floating afterwards? How brilliant. That's fantastic. It's a process. It's a byproduct of the brewing industry, says somebody. I just saw that go. It's leftovers. Robin Jones. Oh, and Mark Donny McLeod. What does it mean when you say leftover? Again, that doesn't tell me anything. I've brewed beer, and all that I tell you what's left over when you brew beer is the barley that you've made, that you turn the barley into liquor. You've just got this, which is normally fed to pigs, isn't it? Because it's just basically these grains of barley that have now been, which was malt, and it's just at the bottom of the thing, it's separated out. That's all you get. Because what else do you get from brewing? The rest is the stuff you drink.
David Keel says, yeast extract. It's the contents of the cell without using the cell walls, according to Mr. Google. And Linda Kane says, yeast extracts consist of the cell contents of yeast without the cell walls. They are used as food food additives or flavorings, or as nutrients for bacterial culture media.
I still don't. That doesn't even tell me anything. What do you mean by cell walls? What I mean, how? I mean, that still is like, it's gobbledygook. It's not. If you said carrot extract, you would think, oh, okay, and what do you do with that? You could make it into a drink. So that's carrot drink, basically. You're extracting the essence out of a carrot, and you've got some sort of carrot drink, but without the body of the carrot, which I assume is just basically crushed carrots. But out of the cell of what? Out of the cell of yeast.
Yeah, the yeast cells. Bonnie Holland says, Vegemite is a byproduct of kangaroo poo.
Well, there you go. That's why the Aussies like it. Mary at Genealogy, he might like it because he's down there, but he's originally a British lad, isn't he? Alan
Sandell. Yeah. Sorry, Alan Sandell said Vegemite was the original. It is sweetened. There you go.
Is it? Vegemite is sweetened, what, and Marmite isn't?
I guess not. It certainly doesn't taste sweetened.
No, I wouldn't say it was sweetened. They get some yeast and extract some... What? They get some yeast and extract some of it into a jar, says Colonel Cragratty. But I don't understand. Extract what from it? Sorry, I know it's thick and people are sort of trying to help, and I appreciate that, and you're doing it very well. But for some reason, my brain is still going... Because I went into a brewery once. They had a brewery tour, did all these things. And they showed this sort of light brown, what looked like washing up liquid, but in a sort of foam, very thick, like you'd get if you got a big bottle of washing up liquid, really thick, concentrated. The one that, loves to do dishes with all sorts of wishes. That one. Mild green, fish and chips. If you did that and you put it into a bowl and you went really, really, and so you ended up with this really thick foam, and then you put in a little a bit of boot polish into it, so it went sort of in a brown colour. There you've got your yeast. That's what yeast looks like. Well, certainly in the brewing. So what are you extracting? How do you? What can you extract from that? I mean, if you put your hand into a big load of it, you've got more of that yeast just dribbling through your hands. So how does that suddenly? What do you do to that to make that into a black, globby, tasty Marmite? That's what I'm trying to get out of you. It's alcohol-free Bovril. Sure, Marmite, alcohol-free Bovril. Is that what it is? But Bovril, yeah. Wait, you're having a.
Dave Vivad says you can get one called Natex, which is a low-salt version.
Oh, is that like latex, which is full of salt?
Probably not.
And it's got this sort of rubbery taste. Maybe we should move on. This might not be achieving very much in tonight's show. But if anybody can put it into words that are much more, imagine I'm 5 years old and you're trying to explain it to me. That would be good.
Oh, bless him. Barry Hughes says, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Barry Hughes says, my body is just warming up as I've been laying on icy ground most of the day, fitting gas mains. Oh, you poor thing.
Oh, you should have
toast those toesies up a little bit.
Should have lit some of the gas mains near around you to keep you nice and warm. That would have been all right, wouldn't it? It's like KFC, says Bonnie. The Marmite recipe is a secret. Can't be a secret, otherwise it wouldn't be able to make it. How would that ever go? We're going to make some Marmite today. Oh, yes, what with the secret recipe? That's right. Well, what are we doing then? Oh, we don't. None of us ever know. We don't, because it's a secret. Well, we need to discover what makes Marmite, don't we? Otherwise, we can't make Marmite. Oh, maybe they know. Maybe it's only a secret to them. I see what you're saying. It has a lot of salt in Marmite, says Robin Jones. Does it?
Linda Kane says everything is made of cells except the food that is all chemicals.
When you say cells, I mean,
yeah.
How would you describe cells? Is that like?
Did you not do science at school?
No, beehives. Is that like beehives? They've got little cells that the bees hide in. Is it got? Are we down to atoms and neutrons?
Not quite that small.
Right.
Cells are made up of atoms and neutrons, I should imagine.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
I can understand it. I just can't explain it. Like a lot of things in life.
I just found a recipe to make it from sourdough, says Alan Sand. What? A recipe to what? Make Marmite salad. You see, this show, you never know what's going to happen in this show. 1 minute you just thought, oh, we're just going to watch some old videos. But here we are for an hour and a half discussing how yeast extract has come out of the cells of prisoners. You see, the other thing I think of cells is prison. Prison go into cells. So cells is like a honeycomb. It's like little.
Our bodies are made up of millions and millions of cells.
So it's very small.
Skin cells, you've got organ cells,
Yes. But how do you eat? What do you eat? This is I understand that we're made up of these millions of these so-called cells, which presumably are sort of like little pockets of something.
Yeah.
So you're extracting what's inside the pocket. Is
yes.
that so? Yes. It's like I'm just trying to think. It's like taking the nut out of the husk. Is that how it works? I don't. I'd love to. I'm just showing my ignorance here. I went to. The great thing is, whenever I don't know anything, I can just throw it back to Forest School for Boys, or Forest Boys as it was known when I went there. They went posh after I left and called it the Forest School for Boys, but it was Forest Boys, and it was a 1970s comprehensive school in which you were supposed to have comprehensive education. They comprehensively didn't do it to me. The main ingredient in Marmite, says Jeff Sussex, is yeast extract, which contains a high concentration of glutamic acid. Marmite is not gluten-free, as it is made with wheat. And although it is thoroughly washed, part 2 is coming, reference from Google. Wait a minute, it's part of the brewing process, isn't it? So it must be barley, because they use barley in the brewing process. Here we go, look. Yeast extract is made from adding water to yeast in a warm environment. As the yeast expands, the walls of its cell soften. So what? And then you get some sort of gooey mess, I guess, which turns into this. I hate to have been Richard's teacher at school. Far too inquisitive, says Clive. Yes, I mean, it never. I do have this trouble. I bore people senseless because I'm trying to sort of. I don't know. Do most people just nod and what is it you say, Julia? Nod and
smile and nod.
smile and nod and just go, "Oh, that's what it is." Whereas I'm thinking, wait, I don't understand. Hang on a minute. Just explain that in
Layman's terms.
yeah, in idiots' terms. I don't. Anyway, thank you very much.
Todd Desborough says, but cell phones are not made of cells.
Yeah, there you go.
That's because it's short for cellular.
Yeah, plus the fact over here, we don't call them cell phones, do we? We call them mobile phones, which is much better because you can roam around with it. You can make Marmite from bread, says Mike Stevens. That's interesting. Marmite is made from snips and snails and puppy... There we go. There we are. That's better. Now I understand it. Now I'll go out into the garden, find some snips and snails and puppy dogs' tails and see if I can make some... Put them all into a big pot. Marmite is the big mystery. It's a big mystery on a Friday night show. Anyway, I've finished my Marmite. Shall we watch a video?
Yeah, please. I'm sick of Marmite.
Yeah, sick of it. So on tonight's show, do you think mice like Marmite? They're getting a good bit of advertising, by the way. If the Marmite, if any official from Marmite would like to send us a few £100, that would be very nice. We've given you quite a bit of advertising in tonight's show. Anyway, mice. David Sedgwick has got his his night cam set up in the garden. You may remember the hedgehogs, which was lovely to see.
Yes, I love that.
Well, we're going to go live now, ladies and gentlemen. It's not really live, but it's always good fun to say that. We're going live to David Sedgwick's back garden to see if we can see any nature. There might be some mice running around. Let's have a look. Now, what I love, the cat comes in, mice disappear, cat goes away, and the mice are back. But what I love about that is the date was the 2nd of October, 2021. We haven't even got there yet. How does that work? I think that's the American way of doing it, isn't it? Must be, because it must have been the 10th of February. But when I first looked at it, I was going 2nd of the October, the 10th, 2021. It's a premonition. It's a premonition, Julia.
You were just seeing a vision into the future.
Yes, be careful. Get rid of that cat. He's going after those lovely mice. You won't have any mice left.
That wasn't just any mouse either. That was Speedy Gonzales himself.
They move rapidly, don't they? The speed. I mean, I'm super impressed. 20-odd minutes discussing the properties of man. It must be a record, says Rasputin of Arlington. Yes, sorry about that. Mice will play when the cat is away, says John B. Absolutely. And so fast. That is amazing. I'd love to know, is David out there? I would love to know, what is the oddest creature that you have captured on your night cam? And or anybody else come to that. What is the oddest creature that you've discovered in your back garden or on camera? That would be fantastic.
Audrey's just pointed out that today's date is a palindrome.
A palindrome?
12/02/2021. There's 12/02/2021.
It's almost like tweet twoo, tweet twoo. Sorry, almost, but not. I like mice, but not when they're living in my loft, says Judith, as they were in the summer.
Hey, Sean's back. It's Sean's Garden Diary. Hello.
Yes, I'd said hello to Sean earlier. Did you not see that?
I must have been busy reading other comments.
Oh, yeah. I said, oh, then Sean.
Belated hello.
Yes. Hello, Sean. Hope you're doing well. It's lovely to have you back in the fold. We were worried about you. We were very, very worried. Pass the soap, says Sean. Oh yes, because he was in the bath. I said he was sitting there watching from the bath. That's right. Yeah, nice story, Kerry, says David Keel. Kerry says, had a wood mouse on my bird feeder once. It didn't move as I walked by, and without thinking, I reached out and stroked its back. It was still there when I came back down the path. Well, it's probably hibernating. If it's a dormouse, a wood mouse, or it was dead. One of the two. It's usually the signs if you stroke it and it's still there. I mean, what was it doing? Wood mouse. What's the difference between a wood mouse, a house mouse, and a dormouse? Size? Occupation? Name? Probably the name. Probably the name is different, isn't it? Toolpod Rod says, I logged out for 20 minutes whilst the laptop did an update. We'll catch up with the Saturday. Oh, well, Toolpod Rod, there's 20 minutes of Marmite discussion that you have now managed to avoid. Well, I've never heard a better excuse than that. Oh, lapdate. They're on Marmite, right, okay. Yes, we'll have an update on the old laptop. A lap date. Is that a lap date? An update on the laptop is a lap date. You're looking very studious there, Julia.
Yeah, Judith was saying my cat also brings mice in dead or alive.
No, you had a story about a birdie.
Yes. My naughty mojo cat, my boy cat, brought in 2 birds in 1 week last week. And I was not very happy with him. I kept telling him birds are friends, not food. And catch all the mice you like, but not the birdies. But, so I've actually bought him a collar, and it's got a big bell on it. But I've got more bells around somewhere. I need to find some more, stick them on. Just give birds half a chance.
Got a collar with the words "birds are nice." She's like, how does he read it? He can't see it, can he? But yeah. One of those was a robin.
Yes, and I cried like a baby. I tried to save it, but it was I couldn't. The little bleep ran off, taking it with him. And I chased him around the garden, but I didn't get it.
Michael Thornley has the definitive answer here. He says the difference between a house mouse and a dormouse is that one eats Marmite, the other eats Bovril. That's the level that we have reached on this show. Get an air rifle. Situation sorted, says Robin Jones. What, and shoot the cat? No, that's not good. Station Master's Choice, you've come a long way from turning the calculator upside down and writing Shellilo with the numbers. Yes, we have. That's very true. Although none of it's any more intelligent.
I never did shell oil with the calculator, but I'm not
shell oil.
I think that's what he says. Michael White says mice are people too.
Well, they're not. They're mice, aren't they?
They're a bit more problematic than birds, unfortunately.
What, mice?
Yeah.
Yes, they don't have wings. That's one problem. And birds don't have long tails in the same fashion. They have tails, obviously.
Well, birds don't break in and start eating your food if they can get to it.
That's burglars.
Contaminating your food. Pardon?
That's burglars. Burglars break in, don't they?
Yeah, but they don't. Burglars don't tend to break in for your food and poo in your food places.
And loads of it, making you think you've got black rice. Anyway, just be careful. Any time you're cooking a chili con carne or something like that, and you have black rice, probably might not be as healthy as you once thought. So I think maybe some art would be a good idea. Do you think?
Yes.
I think that was good. Let's go into the art gallery. Well, we will if I press the correct button. And my cursor is playing up at the moment, but we will try and get on top of that. Now, if you remember rightly, I can't remember where we got to. I think we got to here. We were looking at some of Colonel Cragratty's art, and we will just run through some more of that because it was absolutely brilliant. Where is the button? So here we are on the beach somewhere, I think, judging by that. He's probably back down on the beach where he was before, which I can't remember where he said it was, but it was somewhere interesting. And that's a lovely looking shell.
Oh, looks like a nautilus.
Oh, is it a nautilus?
Well, I don't know, but it looks very, very similar.
I imagine that Jules Verne will be popping out to write a novel about that very shortly. And this is something you might recognise.
Oh, yes. Yes. The old Spinnaker Tower in my city of birth.
Ah, the city. You were born on the point at the top, weren't you?
Yeah. Okay.
Lovely. Well done. Lovely picture, though. Fantastic.
It's fantastic. I love it.
And he's a sporty chap, is old Colonel Cragratty, because he does like a good game of golf. And as you can see, he's packed his golf clubs all in those suitcases and left his tennis racket on the outside. How marvellous is that?
Lovely.
And this is his preferred method of transport.
His tractor.
Is that a Harry Ferguson? Is it Harry? Larry?
I've got
Gary
no idea.
Ferguson? Somebody Ferguson. Who was
Incidentally,
Yes.
tractor was the very first proper word that my son Elijah actually managed to say, except it came out tractor.
Oh, right.
And it was so cute that we kept nagging him to say it again and again and again, and then he didn't say another word for like 12 months.
I thought you were going to say for 12 years then.
In fact, more than that, I think it was. It was just, garbled.
Garbled.
Words. Bless him. He can't shut him up now sometimes, bless him.
Ah.
Rather that, though.
Here we go. Here's a couple of little
Wow.
boats. Ships,
Love it.
I believe. That's the Canterbury by the looks of things. I don't know what the little tug is. And where is that, I wonder? It's got a castle on the top.
I don't recognise it myself. But it is fantastic. I love
Beautifully, yeah,
that.
beautifully drawn. Fantastic. And here is the Tower Bridge,
Yeah.
which looks very good. And somebody rang in. Don't you remember? Somebody rang in. I can't remember who it was now. Who said that as a kid they could climb up onto the top there, where those two flags are, and dangle their legs over the top, and there was a sandy beach.
Yes, it wasn't.
I try to remember who rang in about that. That was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, because we'd seen a picture or something of one of the little beaches next to the Tower Bridge.
That's right. I'm not sure what that is. Like a little derrick thing, is it? A little tackle and what do they call it? Line and tackle, tackle and chuck and tackle,
I have no idea what you call
chicken tackle, tip and pin, something like that. I can't remember.
that. Chip and pin.
And
Oh, I like this one.
that is a windmill. Very nice. Looking up at a windmill. I wonder where that is. It's got near Brill, Oxford. So that looks like a post mill to me, a black post mill. It might be a white one, of course. But it's in Oxford, so they would be the sails. If it was in Sussex, it would be sweeps, because we call them sweeps in Sussex. And that looks like Windsor Castle. Oh, yes, and there is the changing of the guard.
Fantastic.
They've all changed into red today, which is very nice, because often they're in pink or yellow or dark brown with odd socks. But today, very nice. Thank you very much. I think that's...
We're having a conversation in the chat box about the difference between boats and ships. I think that the boats have their main deck below or at sea level, and ships, their main deck is above.
Is that what it is? Oh, it's nothing to do with the size then?
Well, size does come into it, but the main thing is the main deck, where the level of the main deck is. So hence submarines are boats, because their main deck is below sea level.
Ah, right. Oh, okay. That's good.
As I understand it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you married a bloke who used to be in the Navy, so I guess you would know.
I had it drummed into me.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a ship, not a boat. Oh, I'm sorry.
Jonathan Fox says, I drove to pick up some fish and chips tonight, and as I was leaving, I climbed into the wrong car. Oh, my goodness. It was a long 3 seconds before I realised it was the same colour as my car, and it was unlocked. That is amazing. Have anybody ever done that, got into the wrong car when there's, a driver there? My daughter did it once. She thought it was a taxi. A car pulled up outside. She was waiting for a taxi. She went, oh, bye, I'm out for the evening. Bye, Dad, bye. And she ran out and she got into this car. And then a few minutes later, she came back in. She says, wasn't the taxi at all. Just a stranger's car. Has anyone ever done that? I've never done it. But
I've never done it with a car, but I've done it with a coach. When I was working for a school, I was just being the supervisor on a school bus that was going, taking some of the pupils to a college for some course.
Yeah.
And I was running late, and I turned up, and the vehicle that was in the usual space that the bus would be in was a coach. I climbed on and I looked, and I was like, backing up.
Oh, so you didn't actually get on the coach and it drive off, and then you go, wait a minute, this isn't the one.
Thank goodness. Now I got on, and instantly, as soon as I looked up, I was like, wait, this really isn't right. And then the teachers on board were like, hello, how can we help you? And I was like,
it's like, sorry. David Keel seems to have done it. He says, I've done that once, and there was a woman inside the car. That must be very frightening. Robin Jones says, I had a guy trying to get into my car once. My nanny did it in the 1970s. Linda Kane says, I had a problem, the other trying to unlock the car, identical for mine. For ages, go, why won't it bloody unlock? Why won't it unlock? What's the matter with the sodding thing? Meanwhile, a car over there with its hazards are flashing, going, chick-chink, 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 chick-chink. It's like, I'm here, Mummy, I'm here. That's hilarious, that is. David Keel, I even put the seatbelt on. I thought it was my friend. Oh, my.
Paul Smith said he got on the wrong tube train going the wrong way.
Oh, yeah, I've done that. I've certainly got on the wrong tube. Very knowledgeable bunch in the chat tonight, says John. But yeah, we've all made these silly mistakes. Lorry and truck are lost in translation. Oh, right. What's it? Also, lorry and truck. Okay, there's a. Hang on, we've got to go back and find that. What is that? Lorry and truck.
While you're looking for that, when I went to Poland, it was probably about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago now. I went to visit a great aunt. My grandfather's sister, because he came from Poland and then was in a camp, and then was released by the United Nations, and then marched to join the British forces and all that. But anyway, so I went with my mum to visit his sister, who mum had finally gotten in touch with, and that was fantastic. But the point is, that week I met up with some of my younger brother's friends who were from Poland and had come to university here and then gone back, and they took me out to a vodka bar. To the person that rarely drinks, and I got a little sloshed. And at the end of the night, they walked me back to my hotel, and they called an Uber. And I was in full mode. I was like, madness and crazy. And then their Uber pulled up, and I was like, oh, hey. And I opened up his door, and they went, ooh! They freaked out. And they went, no, I'm sorry to the driver. Apparently, you don't open the Uber driver's door. That's a big no-no. So I learned. That sobered me up.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. Oh, I'm getting feedback to myself.
Oh,
maybe it'll die away.
Andrew Holson says, I did similar. I left my girlfriend's house and jumped into her dad's car, which was in front of my friend's car, who brought me here. He was beeping behind to tell me. How embarrassing.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? Here we go. There's loads of these. I once left hubby in Tesco's car park as I couldn't find the car, so walked home. That was at home with Mindy. And Robert Croser says, I got into a car with some bloke and driven like a madman around the southern Scotland, accelerating round blind corners. His time will come. I wonder who that could possibly be.
I wonder.
Wouldn't possibly be me. Not anymore. I've got a van. I drive very sedately in my van. Thank you.
Skilt says, I'd stopped my car one day at a bus stop as I saw a friend waiting at the stop. The door opened. In he got. As I speed away, I inquired about his wife when I heard an Eastern European voice say, sorry, who? Oops.
Oh, dear. I got on a train from Newcastle, says Mark Donny McLeod, for Bristol, but it didn't stop until Penzance. It was a night train. I had to go back home at 4 in the morning on the milk train to Temple Meads. Oh, my God.
What a horror.
That is a horror. Right, let me just show you a bit more of Colonel Cragratty, because he sent this in. He says, thanks for showing some of my drawings earlier on Wednesday. Here's my latest one of a climber. Of course, one of my friends climbing in a disused gritstone quarry. We went to the Peak District last year. I think it's a bit improved from my earlier work 6 years ago. There is a watercolour version as well, which I completed yesterday. So let's have a look. So here we go. This is the black and white version of clambering up, which is we're going to see a bit of video in a second, and this is the colour version, as if by magic.
Ooh, I like that teal or turquoise. I love those shades. Very nice.
So that's marvellous. So Colonel Cragratty, we've got a little bit of him leading a walk up the hills. Or rather the cliff face, very similar to that, you know, like very vertical, in Pembrokeshire, which is a lovely part of South Wales to go to. If anyone's not been there, I would definitely recommend it. So, Pete, yes, Mr. Colonel. Mr. Colonel? It's all a bit highfalutin there. Let's have a look at your leading the climb up a vertical cliff face, something like 450,000 feet up in the air. Might not be quite that tall.
Right, severe 4A, here we come. 4B? Oh, it's a 4A. Is that 4A this one? Yeah, I mean, okay. 4A. We wouldn't even tackle a 4B. Never ever. Once you can get into the corner, you can get that cam in above the flake, can't you? Sorry? Once you get around the corner, get the cam in. Can't reach it. Maybe. Your cam would not fit. Yeah, I'm sure that's the one I used this morning when I led it. You get it in, that's one of mine. It's only just in. Well done, off belay.
There we go. How about that? Terrifying to watch. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could. I would just be too scared. I mean, I did it, as I said once before, as a robot doing some abseiling, and that was just, 30 feet. But I don't think I could do that. And leading them up. But what a skill to have. Very impressed, Pete, Colonel Cragratty. Very impressed.
Absolutely wonderful. I have to admit, although the thought of it absolutely scares me witless, the more I see of it, the more I'm like, yeah, I think I want to have a go again. I don't know if I'd actually be brave enough to arrange it sometime, but yeah, it does look fun.
Mate, I mean, probably with the right instructor and the right bit of enthusiasm, on a good day. I mean, I guess you're going to feel much more secure with the ropes and things than when I went up the rock with the Mark, what's his face, Selwood down in Cornwall. And clambering up there, I guess because I was holding the camera and all of that. But I mean, I think I'll start on a climbing frame.
Yeah, for you at that point was a triple whammy, wasn't it? Because you had your equipment in both hands, as well as yourself. So
it's funny enough. It's not so much the going up. It's when you're there. It's the coming down. It's when I'd start to sort of freeze and go, oh God. I mean, I've climbed up onto my roof, and I can climb up quite happily, and then I'll get up and go, oh, I can't move. And that's the point.
I'm the opposite, because I can abseil down, no problem, especially if I'm belaying myself or whatever. But climbing up, especially without on real rocks, just the thought of like, oh, where do I put my hand now? It just freaks me out. Logically, I know it's safe. Because lots of people do it, but yeah, it's just the mind over matter thing, isn't it?
It's interesting. John B says, I wonder if Richard could have replaced John Noakes on Blue Peter. And actually, it's I mean, I wouldn't say would be anything as good as him. I think if things were for a TV program and things like that, and you had the team around you, I would do it. I would probably do anything apart from the one thing that I just will not do is the bungee jumping. I don't think I could do that.
No, I wouldn't.
I would be very reluctant to jump out of an aeroplane, but I think I could do that on, somebody who knows it. But bungee jumping, I don't know. The fact that you're up somewhere high, you can measure the distance. Whereas in an aeroplane, I've been up in a microlight, and you get to a point where actually you're so high up that you no longer think of it as being a long way down. You can see it's a long way down, but it's a point where it doesn't seem to have that. The fear goes. I know that might sound weird, and so jumping out of an aeroplane, it's like, well, it's probably not really that. It's not probably. It just looks like a film below you. It's obviously as you come down, there will be a point where you go, oh crikey, that is actually quite. It's coming up really. Oh my God, what a bonk!
My uncle one of my uncles used to do a lot of what do you call it? Skydiving, jumping out of planes. I don't think you'd ever catch me doing that, nor bungee jumping.
Michael White claims that he can climb up a building like Adam West from Batman. Is that like when they've turned the camera on its side and you just sort of like walk up like this?
Yeah,
Holy
probably.
ridiculous, Batman.
Where's the video, Michael?
Yeah,
We need
where's
to
the
be-
vid?
Just for the laughs.
Colonel Craig Ratty says climbing the first 10 feet is the most risky, as you will hit the ground. Oh, yes, of course. And from there on after, you won't hit the ground because your ropes will hold you, presumably. Yeah, there we are. My mate told me, says Robert Baxter, he did a bungee jump in Australia years ago. All this time, I never knew because he never mentioned it in the last 20 years. Good gracious, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do a bungee jump. Right, time is ticking on, so we must try and get through some more of this. Whilst we're in the art gallery, and I have managed to sort out the wonderful... Do you remember Andrew Norris and his wonderful dog Zorro?
Oh, yes.
Well, of course, all of Andrew Norris's dogs have an ancestry, and there's, there some very proud paintings were made in years gone by. And Andrew went up into the loft and he found these old masterpieces, these wonderful. I can't remember who the artist was, but internationally famous. And so let's have a look at some of the, I don't know their names. Maybe Andrew can tell us the names of these past ancestors. So here is the first one, looking very, very noble.
Very, very
It's like
genteel.
the Duke of Wellington outfit there, looking very lovely in their dress uniform, and very alert. And the second one is this one here. in I guess that's a sort of Trafalgar outfit. It's very reminiscent of somebody on the end of a long pole in a square of a similar name, with only one eye and one arm.
I love the hat, the gold bits and the what would you call it? That fluffy bit on the top.
I would call it a fluffy bit. Is it a
An
pom-pom?
upside down tassel?
Is it? Yeah, it's like a pom-pom. Something like that. Is that a British hat, or is that like a Napoleon hat?
It's not a tricorn, is it?
No.
It's
Is it a
2 ends
dewcorn?
rather than 3. Is it a bicorn? I don't know.
Bicorn? Yes, she's saying I need to name like a town the road, Richard, says Mark Donnelly McLeod. Name like the town down the road. Not quite sure what it means by that. Yes, kind of reminds me of when the cats play pool.
Oh yes, those classic paintings of the cats playing pool.
All right. Don't know those, but thank you very much, Andrew Norris. Love seeing those. Do if you find any more of these old masterpieces, you must show us. That's absolutely fantastic. Right, we're going to go and have another video. Probably not going to get round to any phone calls today, I'm afraid. We must do a show in which phone calls and things are on, but tending to sort of squeeze them in is a bit difficult at the moment. It's lovely having all this wonderful art and various bits and pieces. So let's
Lovely content.
yeah, let's pop up into the Vobes vault. And in the Vobes vault tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's Mike Stevens has a interesting poem because Valentine's Day is coming up. What day is it? Is it Sunday? We're the 12th today. Saturday is the 13th.
Yeah, it'll be Sunday then.
And yes, I always kept. This is the first year I've remembered not to call it Halloween. I always used to get it mixed up. Don't ask me why. I'd always go, oh yeah, it's Halloween coming up on the 14th, isn't it? Halloween.
Sometimes it's just as horrifying.
And Dawn, when I was
Halloween.
married, or Harriet, when I was going out with her, would kind of go, what are you talking about, Halloween? I said, oh no, it's not Halloween. It's the other one, isn't it? The other Valentine's Day.
The other one. It's
yes.
so similar.
It's the other horrific day where we've all got to go and the one day that we can pledge our love for whomever it is. The rest of the time we don't have to, but it's that one day.
That's what irks me about it. It's like, no, every day you should express your love to those you love. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
So, right.
Okay. So Mike Stevens has got a poem based on, I think it's Robbie Burns' poem. So let's have a listen.
Hello, this is Mike here, giving you a poem from a song by Robbie Burns, A Red, Red Rose. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love's like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. So fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry. Till all the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. And I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run. And fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well a while. And I will come again, my love, though 'twere 10,000 mile. Oh, my love's like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love's like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And bing, it disappeared. Thank you so much, Mike Stevens. I have to say, it's a very brave man to go outside in the temperatures, which must have been about minus something, and then start to read poetry with such a charming smile on your face. You're a very brave man indeed. Thank you very much for that.
Indeed, thank you.
Yeah, great stuff. Let's come out of there for a second. And which button do I press? That one. There we go. Ah, it's all very good. Very,
No,
very.
not that one. Boing.
Boing. Oh. Yes, I've just ejected Julia out into the snow. Although there is no snow. Apparently it's going to warm up next week, so that's all good. Robert Croser said, I sent a card to Richard Suggett last year. Ah, how lovely. Well, I thought there was a bit of bromance going on there. So that was very nice. And very musical, says Sean Ford. And that's good. Boing, said Zebedee. Boing. Great stuff. We've got quite a bit of art to go through, but I'm going to show Robin Jones's photograph. We don't get many photographs, so I think that would be quite nice to have a look. Actually, I'm looking down there, but I have to look over here. It's Vobe Show emails. Where are you, Robin? Here we go. And he says, good day, Richard. Good day there, Robin.
Good day, Richard.
Good day. Good
G'day,
day there.
Richard.
Call that a knife? That's not a knife. He says, I've enclosed a photograph from my archive for you. It's a dim, dingy little place where I keep things under wrap and clean. Eric comes in. No, sorry, I'm making that bit up. He says, this took a little setting up with a log hanging in a tree with sunflower seeds in the crevices. It's a nuthatch, by the way. Let us have a look. This is very good. You're going to like this. Here we go. I pressed the wrong button, sorry. Here it's what I meant to press. How about
wow.
that? Wow.
That.
Is that beautiful?
That's stunning.
And look at the colour. I love the colour of the blue.
Mm.
It is amazing how birds have all these incredible colours on their feathers.
Gorgeous. Oh.
Oh, well done, Robin. We want to see more. Go into your dim, dark archive and show us some more. That is amazing. A nuthatch, yeah.
I'm just trying to input that pattern and the way it looks into my brain so I can recognise what a nuthatch looks like.
Yes.
I'm rubbish with naming most of the birds.
Well, I'd love to. I mean, I'd never used to be into birds, but I'd love to, when out and about, be able to go, oh, look, there's a nuthatch. Yeah, I mean, one of the problems I think with birds is some of them are native and they hang about, like the robin. I think the robin hangs about, doesn't he? Yes. And then others just sort of, they only come around and you never see them the rest of the year. I mean, do you see robins the rest of the year?
Yeah. Oh, yes, see them in summer and in winter.
What about spring and autumn?
In winter, they have, their chest is red. I mean, hang on a minute. Does the chest stay red all year round?
Why would it change? Are they traffic lights on the side?
I don't know, because they don't shed their feathers, do they? I don't know. For some reason, as a child, I thought that in the winter they had red breasts, and in the summer they didn't.
Somebody will know. and somebody.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that's. I mean, this is help our education. Friday night is help. Well, every Vobe show is help our education because we know nothing. But yeah, how lovely is that?
Nothing.
We know nothing.
I
Now-
could Google it, but why Google it when I've got a chat box there?
Yeah, exactly. There we are. That's what it's there for. So let's also, whilst we're here, have a look at Woody Jenny, who's sent in. Now, she sent in a picture the other week, and I wasn't very clever in how I described what it was. And so she sent it in again with a bit more of an explanation so that we can appreciate it. It was a picture of a mask, but she did it right at the beginning of the sort of lockdown thing in March a year ago. And she sent this in. And so see what you think about this. She says, the mask came to my mind right at the beginning of last year when we really didn't know or understand what was happening on the situation. Following on from a thought of, will we need a gas mask in real life? Because you imagine when people first said it, masks, it did take images back to the Second World War when even the kids had these Mickey Mouse gas masks, which were quite grim to look at. But thankfully, no, she says. And then transferring this thought to me, to humans. How much do we resist in revealing who we are? She asks. It's tricky to do. Because we fear rejection or being ignored. We wear a mask to hide behind. So, like being an engineer or a hairdresser, we put on a front, don't we? For a long time, I've resisted answering the question, what do you do, rather than who are you or what are your interests? And I always think that's interesting because whenever you meet somebody new and they say, you say, oh, I'm rich. And I say, oh, yeah, what do you do? Not who are you? What is your life about? It's like, what is your profession? As if that's the only thing that mattered. So it's quite a deep question, really. For a long time, I've resisted that. The past year has pushed me helpfully towards social media, which has involved opening up myself. It hasn't been easy, but my inner strength and self-confidence has grown. So that's basically what she's saying. Let me show you the picture, and then I will show you a image that she also sent about her work page. So you may remember, let me get this, I think this is the correct way round. So you may remember she sent in this picture, and she says she likes putting appropriate real life stuff in a 3D way against it. There's the mask with the breathing stuff on. And so again, you've got to bear in mind that this was created before we really knew what masks, these blue masks that you see everybody wear, the sort of the surgical masks that everybody's wearing, or not surgical, but the free ones you get in hospitals. And then, I'm just going to go back to here. This is sort of part of her, I think, like a notebook or a
sketchbook type thing.
Yeah.
We used to call it in college.
Exactly, where she's sort of asking that question about revealing who you really are is risky because we wear a mask in life. And that's quite a deep and philosophical thought. So thank you very much, Woody Jenny, for that.
Lovely to see.
I think that's where art is very good at trying to sort of, go beyond what you normally see of things. So there's me one time saying, well, I only like Constable pictures because it's a representation of real life. And then I'm learning that there is more to art than meets the eye.
Indeed there is.
Makes you think, I suppose, is what it does.
Makes you cogitate.
Cogitate. I like a nice cogitate.
Got to have a good bit of cogitation. Cogitation.
Yeah, as long as it's just cogitation, we'll be okay. In the video box now, we're going to nip up down some stairs and have a look at Bernie's stairs. But these aren't stairs in the ordinary way, are they, Bernie? Bernie was, he said it's interesting looking at Mike Stevens' bookcase that we looked at the other day, and it was fascinating to see that. And he says, well, I'm going to show you something different because his bookcase is just stuffed full of railway books. And he said it might get a bit boring after a while. So he's come up with something else.
The year is 1933. A new station's just opened on the London Underground system. The first one to be opened since all the underground lines and bus companies were joined together for the new London Transport Passenger Board. And the new station doesn't even appear on Harry Beck's early underground map, but it's right there, where this little stubby branch line from Rayners Lane on the Metropolitan Railway met the District Railway head on, at a place whose name I'll tell you later. Now, this brand new station is actually the new station down on a lower level on the Metropolitan line, because eventually, as you can see here, the Piccadilly line is going to be extended from South Harrow to take over the Metropolitan metals and run into Rayners Lane, at which point where I'm standing on the high level District line station is going to be closed and the District line cut back just to the Ealing Broadway branch. As I said, here we are standing on the District Railway high level, and you see the sign here with the, whether you might call it purple or mauve boundary to it, telling you that it's a Metropolitan line station, and we go down the stairway to its platforms. And there we see the signs way out from the Metropolitan line towards what was the District Railways, electric trains. The Metropolitan used to run just steamers here.
Just to show I haven't gone completely mad, you'll probably get a whole load of videos now where people are inviting you to see their bookcases. I'm inviting you to see my staircase, which I've put together combining my great interest in the London Underground with interest in Art Deco, an interest which was shared with my two late wives. And so I put this stairway together as a bit of a memorial to them both. I'll explain a little bit more later on.
And what would that station have looked like? Well, it would look just like this. Designed by famous London architect, London transport architect, Charles Holden. And as you walk out onto the platforms, that's what you see. And here it is, to celebrate my two lovely wives, Lynn and Anita, who were both taken away from me as a result of serious illness. The very first new style roundel with the Johnson typeface. Lanita Ascent Station. And I hope you've enjoyed your little visit to my staircase. As you can see, it's quite Art Deco in style itself when you look at it.
How about that? You ever fancied decorating a part of your house, Julia, into the theme of something that exists, or a fantasy version of something that exists?
Can't say I have, actually.
Turn your house into the I thought you were going to do some sort of TARDIS front door or something at one point.
Yeah, but doubt that'll ever get around to happening. Yeah, we wanted either the TARDIS crashed into the corner of our house, because we've got the corner of a terrace. Well, we've got the end of terrace house.
Oh, right.
So yeah, or just have it as the entryway. You know, obviously it's bigger on the inside.
There's a book called Bollocks to Alton Towers. That's its name. Bollocks to Alton Towers. And on the cover,
Say it again.
Bollocks to Alton Towers. And it's the sort of alternative places that you can go and have a wonderful time without having to spend too much money. It's a lovely book, full of, like a Gazzetta, really. But on the cover, my version, on the cover has a house with a giant shark. As if it's, I can't remember if it's coming out or going into it now off the top of my head. I'll have to find the book. Bollocks to Alton Towers. Are we allowed to say that? So well done, Bernie. That looks amazing. And to commemorate your lovely wives, sorry to hear that they were both taken from you, but to commemorate them, to create something like that, so every time you go up and down those stairs, how terrific is that? That's so creative.
Yeah, wonderful thoughts.
So
Well,
yeah,
Sad to hear of your losses, but
now Henry's Adventures, he knows all about that. He says it's in Oxford. I wonder what it is in Oxford that he is talking about. Oh, is it the house? The house. Oh, the house with the shark is in Bollocks to Alton Town. The Headington Shark in Oxford. Thank you very much. Oh, how funny is that? Yeah, that just that tickled me when I saw that. But this place is full of these interesting places. And actually, I've got the book on the shelf. When I must dig it out really, because it might give me some inspiration of places to go and have a look at. So we are rapidly running out of time, and we've got one more video. We've got one more video, and let's have a look. We did Robin Jones. We've done Ian Dance. We just got one more of each actually. One more bit of art, one more video to fit in. And
can I just briefly say,
of course,
sorry to Woody Jenny if I seem to freeze up a little bit with your mask. It might have been a little bit close to home because with my mental health issues and depression, anxiety, and whatever else kind of mad I have.
You're married.
Yeah, the mask is something that in the past and sometimes even still now I kind of rely on. So yeah, sorry if I froze up. I love the fact that you were delving into that though. I think maybe I need to delve into that at some point too.
Yes, well, you did art at art college, didn't you? And you've got a book of your, what do you call it, workbook? Sketchbook, yeah, exactly. And I remember you did show it to me a year or so ago now. Fascinating stuff.
Actually, I did look at masks in it. Oh, I made some latex masks that I hung from the ceiling.
Right.
There's kind of idea of it there.
Ah.
It was a kind of self-portrait project we did. But anyway, might have to go back to that and revisit. I do really want to go back and revisit all those projects and develop them further because.
Well, you are very artistic and also musical because you play your mandolin.
I haven't actually played my mandolin for probably about 4 years now.
And you've got a banjo as well, haven't you?
My ukulele.
Ukulele, beg your pardon.
Over here, in fact, probably out of tune. Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, there we are. And you sing, and we know that you've got a great singing voice as well.
I think I can't sing, but I can mumble a few notes.
I think you can do more than that. We need to get you to a point where, well, it's difficult with kids. That's the trouble. That kids means you drop everything because you're looking after the kids. I know exactly what it is. But
at the moment, I've got them constantly.
Yeah, they're not even at school. So.
Oh my gosh, I really, really, really appreciate teachers. Teaching. If it was easy, I might be a teacher myself, but that's why I'm not a teacher, except I'm having to be a teacher and trying very hard. Nightmare. Anyway, sorry, we were saying?
That's quite all right. So Elaine saying, is Nookie's show video being shown? Yes, it's coming up next. And also Tall Podge Rog says, can I show some sketchbooks one day? Absolutely. So we're going to have a look at some snow scenes in Norfolk, in the village near Nicky. Sorry, Nicky. I struggle with your name for some reason, I don't know why. And Ian Dance, we're going to have a look at some more of his art, and that will be our wrapping up for today. So let's go to some nice snow scenes in Norfolk. snowed in by the looks of things, Nikki. Snowed in up there in Norfolk. We have so little snow here. You couldn't believe how lucky we are down here, really, unless you actually want some snow. Poor old kids haven't had much of a chance to do a snowball fight. But yeah, lovely to see. Thank you so much for sending
beautiful. I
that
love
in.
the music as well.
Very evocative. And very appropriate. Yeah, it can't be easy though if your power lines are down and a tree is across the road. What do you do? What do you do indeed? Thank you so much. And I noticed there, whilst that was going on, scanning quickly because I've already seen all the videos, you see. Shelley Dawes says, I would love Julia to have her own show. Too many blokes here sometimes. Yeah, quite right. Too many. I would love to see Julia do her own show. Thanks
for the vote of confidence.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be great. Because you've got all these talents, but of course, this is the thing, when you're a working mum, it is just so difficult. I do understand that. Because
when you're loco as I am.
well, this would be good discipline for you. It would be good discipline to do. Yeah, you should do it. And also it boosts your confidence no end even.
I don't know.
It will, but it's you need a thick skin at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as it sounds. It's not everybody's cup of tea, I suppose, is what I mean. But you've got all the skills necessary to do it. So we should once we're out of these restrictions and things, maybe you should host one of these shows just to get your end in, as it were.
Well, yeah. Next time I can come to the studio, maybe we should switch sides, and you give me a quick rundown beforehand on which buttons to press when. See how rubbish I do.
Yeah, but it's not so much that. I mean, more of I could work the studio bit and do the buttons, and you could just do all the, concentrate on the performance. Because here you have to split your head a little bit. That's you don't want to be jumping in the deep end too quickly. Just if I just was not in it and just ran the studio, you could then, we're working it. It's something to talk about. So we're just the last bit of art now, ladies and gentlemen. This is from Lance, from Ian Dance. Sounds like Lance. It rhymes with Lance, but it's Ian Dance. And he says, "Hi Richard, I attached a few more drawings for the gallery. The teapot belonged to my grandmother, and every time I look at it, it reminds me of her and what a wonderful woman she was. So I thought I would draw it in her honour." And that will be the last picture of this 3. I pressed the wrong button. This mouse is too big. I can't see where the pointer goes. So this obviously isn't the teapot. This is presumably it's a guitar. Is that a plectrum in the foreground? Lovely, Julie would know these things.
Is that actually a ukulele? It's only got 4 strings.
Oh, is it a ukulele? Ah, there we go. Just trying to work out the scale, you see.
I'm assuming that the plectrum is much closer. Is it a plectrum?
I don't know. Or is it a badge?
It could be. I love it. It's lovely.
Very nice.
And it's got a tree in it.
It's got a tree in it and musical notes. These are some mushrooms or fungi or toadstools. Not quite sure. Actually, they must be mushrooms because the fins underneath look white. I would hazard a guess. But I couldn't tell you what they are. But they're beautiful, beautiful drawings. Very, very good. I wish I could draw like that. They're growing out of some bloke's hairy stomach. That's the only worry. But moving on. And here is your grandmother's teapot. What a lovely... I could do with a teapot like that.
Lovely texturing.
I would love a metal teapot like that I can just constantly have on the Essie, so it's just always warm. And because you wouldn't want... really, you wouldn't want that because the tea would just stew. So just having the kettle on the Essie is good enough for me.
Lovely.
So, brilliant. Thank you so much, Ian. That was really cool. Very much enjoyed that. So I'm just going to check what we've gone through. Everything. Mike Stevens, yes, his poem, and we went up the rocks with Colonel Craigrowty. Bernie showed us his staircase. Nootka showed us the snowy scenes. David Sedgwick showed us those wonderful rodents running around. Ian Dance, we've just seen. Andrew Norris with his dogs. Colonel Craigrowty's wonderful art, and Woody Jenny. with her mask picture, and Robin Jones with a nuthatch. Wow, we've fitted in a lot. We've fit in a lot. And we've had a 20-minute discussion about Marmite, of all things.
Oh, I can't believe we did that.
It's been superb. What a lovely show it's been on a Friday night.
Somebody pointed, I can't remember who, but somebody pointed out earlier that throughout that whole Marmite discussion,
Yes.
no thumbs down had been put on the show.
Are there thumbs down now since?
There's one.
Oh, yes, there's one. Because we're not talking about Marmite. That's why it is. It's like, oh, they've stopped talking about Marmite, so thumbs down. There we go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of it for tonight's show. Thank you so much for coming and supporting us and being here. Thank you for coming on Monday and Wednesday as well. Thank you to lovely Julia for helping out. To Judith out there doing the moderation. We tend not to. I don't know how we manage it. We tend not to. But in our reading show, we had a known troll come back, and Julia was on the ball to get shot of that person. Judith knows exactly. She's on the ball as well. So thank you, Judith. We do appreciate it. We don't thank you enough because, you know, when you're a moderator, you're sitting in the background there with beady eyes reading everything, and you just get a sense of if things are going a bit awry. So thank you very much for that. Thank you to everybody who sent in all their bits and pieces. That's very kind. How brilliant is that? I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. There's a slightly different Bold Explorer tomorrow. I hope you enjoy it. Not going to say any more about it. Wait for it to come. And it's the weekend, so no reading shows, whatever. And back on Monday. So I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Look after yourselves. There is Elijah. Hello, Elijah. How are you?
Hello.
How are you? What's it like not being at school?
Nice.
No, really?
Yeah.
Are you looking...
Enjoy not being at school.
What about not seeing your friends?
Well, that is not nice, but I do get to play with them on games like Roblox and that stuff.
Right, online. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, and are you helpful to your mum?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. Do you cook the dinner, wash the car, and clean the cat tray?
I do help do jobs around the house sometimes.
Oh, well done. That's good to hear.
We make him do chores to earn computer time to play with said friends.
Oh, well, that's good, isn't it? It's because when you're in the big wide world, one has to earn money to be able to do the things we all like. So it's good to learn from a young age, and you'll appreciate it more.
Mm-hmm.
He's staring at me as if to say, I don't believe you. Oh, brilliant. Well, lovely to see you. And little Joe, he is presumably in the other room somewhere running around.
Yeah.
He's crying.
He's crying, is he?
He's crying.
Yeah.
We won't invite him on then.
Right. Okay. Well, better end up the show so you can go and attend to your children. But thank you so much for coming in. And thanks to everybody else. Until next time, look after yourselves. From Julia and I, it's a big arrivederci. And we will be back next week with more fun and games, hopefully. Ta-ta, everyone. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.